That's right. You tuned into the State of the Eagles. Your man Dante the Dark Knight and BIRDGANG 31. You're in the right spot if you want to hear about all Eagles all the time. It's going down. Well, let's get it on. Off season, always a good time to talk about our Eagles. Every day is always a good time to talk about our Eagles. So let's get it.
State of the Eagles. Let's go.
What's up, CJ? Top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I'm trying to think, dog. Lamar? Justin Fields.
Ooh, I
like Lamar too. Fam, it's hard, bro. There's a lot of dogs out there. So I respect everybody. Like Lamar, dog. I love Josh Allen game. Burrow is probably one of my favorite. I think I'm out of my game to Burrow a lot. But yeah, I like all of them.
How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another show of State of the Eagles with your boy BG31 in the Dark Knight in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm great, man, on this holiday weekend, man. Like the Memorial Day.
Yes, sir.
What's up, fam? What's up, BG? How you doing, man?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. You know, OTAs is underway. These birds are looking great out there. There's a lot of storylines with our football team right now, and they're all in a positive narrative. I'm ready to go, man. Let's talk some birds today. How you feeling today?
I'm doing good, man. We got to talk about some OTAs, possibly YANNIck to the Eagles, Dean and his promotion on the defensive side of the ball. We got a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about, and you're tuned into the right place because this is the State of the Eagles. Your man, Dark Knight, and BG31. Who else do you want to hear this from? You want to hear from us, right? So sit back, relax, and check out what we're about to spill for y'all.
And we talked about all this stuff, but I'm going to start out the show today with someone even different. They have been talking about him a lot, though. My guy, I think, will definitely replace Hargrave and be even better than Hargrave. And that's my boy, Jordan Davis, man. Jordan Davis looking good coming into camp, man. People are already talking about him, man. How you feel about Jordan Davis?
He got his man because he got his dogs. He got a season under his belt, right? He came out. He was a dominant. I mean, he was a run stuffer, right? That's what he was. We wanted him to evolve into a pass rushing D tackle. That's yet to be. I mean, remains to be seen. It's still possible, but now he has his running mates beside him, so that's that extra push. And then he had some snaps taken away from him by the vets that were signed in the middle of the season last year to kind of pick up the slack that he left when he was hurt. So he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he got his boys there to push him. And I think he's going to be, like you said, he's going to more than replace Hargrave. And like I said before about Carter coming in, I think that his progression is going to be accelerated because of the talent that he's playing playing around. So yeah, I agree with you, man. That the dog is going to be a better year for him in his second year.
Dude, the way he was talking, you know what I'm saying? The way he was talking, it's like he knew that if he doesn't show up and show out right now, that he might be riding some pine. You know what I'm saying? They went and got my boy Jalen. I already know he's a dog from Georgia. He got 2 championships back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's supposed to be coming in to tear up the league. Right now, I think you have to be safe to say that it's going to be Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis starting, the season off with a Jalen Carter coming in consistently. I guarantee that. But I think Jordan Davis really feels the pressure. He was like, he learned from Linval. He learned from Sue. You know what I'm saying? He learned from Fletch. And he understands what it takes and what it was. It was a blessing for him to be on a Super Bowl team, be on a team that made it all the way to the big game and almost won it your first year. So you already know the work it takes to get there. You already know the grind it takes. He's seen himself sitting pine, wishing he was playing more, just like N'Kobe Dean, and some of these other cats. He was there waiting and wanting to play a lot more. His bell didn't get called because there's other players playing better, but now it's his role to keep. He can keep this forever. Jordan Davis, I really think what everybody expected from him last year, in the beginning before the season started, how he's big, dominant. We worry about his, stamina, but he can be a force in that middle because of his size and how fast he is. That is going to be the main thing this year that I think he learned from some of the best DTs in the game. You know what I'm saying? I think he learned what he needs to learn, and this year's going to be his coming out party. And he might even get double-digit sacks like Hargrave. Yeah, I said it. Double-digit sacks like Hargrave. And maybe look more pretty doing it. Jordan Davis is way bigger than Hargrave. Jordan Davis is more freaking athletic than Hargrave, So that makes him a more dominant player. Now, if he got the books down, he got the defense down packed. We got a new defensive coordinator, but I'm pretty sure it's not too many different techniques you're going to see Jordan in. He's going to be in that middle. He's going to be doing his thing, whether it's on run plays or passing downs. And I don't think you're going to have to pull him off. I think Jalen's going to be Carter's probably going to be replacing more of the Fletcher Cox because he's a little bit older. He's going to be in that rotation.
I agree, man. I agree that he's playing with talent that's better than what he played with in Georgia, where he dominated the year before we drafted him. And another thing he has under his belt, he's already played in big games, right? So he has that under his belt, as well as all the Georgia players that we picked up, right? They already have the experience of playing under the bright lights, but not only playing under the bright lights, but playing in the big games, championship games. And then in his first year, he goes to the Super Bowl. So yeah, he had to sit. He saw some of his snaps snatched away from him by the vets, and he's hungry. And now he's back, like I said before, teamed up with some of his teammates there, and I see him elevating his game tremendously from year one to year two. And I see Jalen Carter also having a kind of a head start over most rookie tackles because he's coming in and he's playing with such elevated talent. I mean, such superior talent around him, man. And that's what is going to make these guys so dominating because of the talent that is on this defensive line. You got Davis, Carter, you got Fletcher Cox. Although he's old, he still has something left in the tank, especially when you don't have to play 45, 50 snaps a game. When you have a defensive line rotation such as we have here, that preserves the veterans. Like you saw what BG did last year, double-digit sacks. You know why that is? Because BG didn't have to play 50 snaps anymore. BG was a part of a rotation, and come the fourth quarter, BG was still fresh. So this is what's going to benefit Fletcher Cox. The young dogs get in there, and they eat up those snaps and all. And this rotation is what's going to help this defensive line eat this year. So I agree with you, man. I see big things for Jordan Davis. Double-digit sacks. I don't know about that, but you know what I mean.
Hey.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying that I see a better year from him. You guys, let me know out there, man. I see you guys in the chat room. Let me know. Yeah. What do you agree with that or not? Let me know.
Let us know how good you think Jordan Davis is going to be this year. Because I really feel like if Jordan Davis is a guy we drafted, right? He had his redshirt year. He's learned from some of the best DTs in football. If he is that guy, then he should be one of the best DTs in football. With his athleticism and his size, he came in slimmer, more stout. He should be stronger than last year. Like he should be the dude coming in here this year. You know what I'm saying? Like there should be no better DT in the league. If you want to really be honest, you can't say that he's the fastest, 300, 30 pound. You could probably be like 340, somewhere around that range, coming in this year because he cut some weight. You can't say that there'd be a better DT out there that's that big and that strong. We haven't even got a chance to even see. And I think Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, these guys are so super smart. They're so super smart. They let those guys learn. They didn't force them to go in there and have to be the stars after you get hurt. Jordan Davis, hey, in a normal year, Jordan Davis, once he's off his injury, we probably throwing him back in there, just get back in there and try to stop this run, help us out. They didn't do it. Howie was like, you know what? You need some more fitness. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a little bit more stamina. I'm gonna go ahead and get Sue, Linval. We're gonna bring these boys in. They're gonna handle the spot down. We're gonna make our run. You can be back next year to play some football. And I think they did that with a lot of players. I think they did that with Nakobe Dean, even though, our linebackers were playing at a high level. If he is that bull that I think he is, he's definitely going to be playing. I think, Howie Roseman, these guys held back Jordan Davis from being that stud last year. Because when he was in, before he got hurt, we were one of the, middle of the pack, top, half of the league in terms of run stuff defense. When that guy's in, he double teamed every day. All day, every day, he's getting double teamed. And if he's coming back more athletic, more strong, there's no way, heck, he can't be the best DT in the league. That's how I feel. That's my personal opinion about Jordan Davis.
All right, don't forget you're checking out the State of the Eagles. Yeah, the new dynamic duo, BG31 and Dark Knight coming together to give you guys a program. Let me go to you guys in the room because we appreciate your support here. And I got Wayne here. Wayne says the Bulldogs defense getting ready for the season. That's right, the Bulldogs defense. He also says we got dogs breaking sleds. Yes, let's talk about it. Jalen Carter is, I went to the barber today. Let me give a shout out to my son. My son graduated high school, high honors. Shout out to the Dark Knight Jr., Dark Knight Jr., Honor Society, all that for, it was, I didn't know that you can get over a 4.0 GPA until my son did it. I thought that was the highest. I thought 4.0 was it. But congratulations to him, 4.18 throughout his 4 years in high school, and he's going on to go to NYU. So I've been doing that all day. That's why I'm kind of don't have my hat on backward and I got a haircut. But I'm in the barbershop, and my barber's like, "Hey, Don, did you hear that Jalen Carter broke the?" And then I didn't hear what he said after that. And I said, "Broke what? What did he break?" He's like, he broke the blocking sled. I said, oh, okay, all right, that's okay. He can break that. I thought he was going to say he broke a bone or something, but he broke the blocking sled. That's what we want to see from our D tackles in there tearing shit apart, and he's tearing the blocking sled apart. So yeah, you're right, Wayne. Our dogs is breaking blocking sleds, and we're getting ready for that. Yo, Philly halftime, and he said, "What is up? What's up, Philly?
What up, Philly?
What's going on? Everybody out there, Ryan, what's good?
Make sure you guys are going to all platforms. We are live on Facebook. Real Eagles Talk. Facebook group, right? We're on Eagles Talk YouTube. We are on BGN Sports Media, and we're definitely on BIRDGANG 31 channel. So we are definitely hot. Make your rounds. Go hit that like. Push this content out because we're going to keep bringing fire all off season, all year long. It's going to be.
We even got a follower from Australia. Australia. What do you think, Mario? What do you think about the season coming up?
Nice.
Let me know. Dark Knight. Yo, what's up? I don't know who this person is. He wants to be anonymous. He said he can't wait till the season start. I'm so hyped. Congrats to his son. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we got I can't wait for the season either. I always just pump the brakes because I love the summertime. And then when the football season comes, it's kind of in the summertime. So I kind of try to temper my enthusiasm for wanting the season to start so quick because I like the barbecue. I like the barbecue, and I want barbecue season to stay open as long as I can get it to stay open. But don't get it wrong. If I lived in a climate where it was warm all year round, I would want football to start tomorrow. I would want to see football right now. And that's how hyped and optimistic I'm about this season. I've already dubbed it the season of unfinished business. This is unfinished business season right here, and we got a lot to take care of. And I think that Howie has constructed this roster in which we can still be great. He is cultivating a culture of greatness with this Philadelphia team, and I see it. I see it.
Yeah, man, these guys, like, we're gonna be good for a long time. But one narrative I do want to talk about, right? You hear this, Philly dogs. You know what I'm saying? You hear the Philly dogs out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and shout out to them Georgia boys. For real. I think they're gonna make a huge impact on our defense this year. And it's not even so much of their individual talent, it's of the whole fact that they are brothers. You know what I'm saying? These boys are close. They already, you know, when you're going into a new world, new city, like you got 4, you know, even if you count Ringo, 5, if you want to count Swift, you know, he was always around the facilities. 6, you know, of your boys, your brothers out there with you, y'all doing it together. That's like a dream come true for anybody playing football. You know what I'm saying? If you think about your high school buddies you play football with, you know, going all the way up until, you know, college, you hope that you guys can go to college together. But hey, okay, you go to college together. Now you're in the NFL. Boom, there you go. You know, like, this is going to be crazy out there. I think that whole dynamic, the energy between those guys is going to make this defense so much better, man. So much better.
Yeah, and then, you know, the biggest question mark I do have is our defensive coordinator. You know, Desai is coming in. This is his first time. I don't know much about him. I did like his introductory press conference where he kind of embodied the spirit of Buddy Ryan in the way he talked, and I hope that shows on the field, because we've had some defensive coordinators that we thought spoke our language as Eagle fans, right? Because we always live for the days of Buddy Ryan and Jim Johnson type defenses, right? And we've not seen that lived up to much in the past. I hate the guy Gannon, but he had a pretty decent season last year, 3rd most sacks in the history of the league. But it didn't feel like the Buddy Ryan, Jim Johnson type of pressure. I mean, I can't argue the numbers and the success that he had, but even with those 70 sacks, it didn't feel like the helter-skelter type of atmosphere that Buddy Ryan and Jim Johnson would put out there on the field with their exotic blitzes and getting the pressure on the quarterback. But it is what it is. It's 70 sacks. I can't sneeze at that. But this guy sounded like it was going to be a little bit more ferocious this year. So I can't wait to see what he has in store. But it's a question mark until we actually see it on the field, right? So that's a question we have to see answered by him. You guys tell me out there how confident you feel with this new defense. I mean, you know, we have 5 new starters we have to name. None of the names are etched in stone yet on who those. You know, we have 5 starters depart the defense last year. We have to replace them. We don't know who they're going to be per se. We got an idea. Like we know N'Kobe Dean is going to take one of those spots. Probably Morrow is going to probably take one of those spots.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a question mark for me. I'm still, it's still up in the air. I'm not doubtful about it. I feel good that he's going to do the job. But you tell me, BG, what's your speculation on what Desai is going to do with this defense?
Man, I think Desai is going to get the same benefits and even better benefits than Gannon did. Like I heard you just talking about it, that you cannot frown on being one of the best defenses ever. Having one of the most highest sack totals ever. You can't frown on stuff like that. That's why I said, is the grass greener on the other side? Gannon was only a second-year defensive coordinator. He got better from year 1 to year 2. What happened if he would have got better from year 2 to year 3 as your defensive coordinator? I think Gannon's bigger problem, I think he was too hungry to be a head coach. To the point that he didn't want to deal with going through, the lengthy period to really understand one thing, specialize on one thing. The best head coaches specialize on one side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like they're specialize. Belichick specialize on defense, or you got your freaking Archie McVays and the rest of these guys that specialize on offense. You know what I'm saying? So you specialize on one or the other, and I think he didn't really get a chance to specialize anything. Like he was 2 years. Yes, the talent helped him get those sacks last year because we were just super talented. We were just talented on defense. It's hard to stop sacks from happening, period. Not everybody's out there a Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts or one of those type, cats like Justin Fields, Richardson. There's only like 5 or 6 of those guys in the league. So if your team's not playing that guy in the season, then you ain't really got too much to worry about, So the Eagles are in good shape, man. These guys, I think, decides going to probably bring you more of a 3-4 look. That's what I think. I think he's going to bring you more of a 3-4 look because we're going to use Nolan Smith more than what people really think we're going to use him. Like, I think we're going to really use Nolan. I think he's going to be like pretty much a starter. This guy's energy is just so crazy right now. He is lighting up the world, what I'm saying, with phrases. He's over on green light cussing, talking about, he's about to do his thing or whatnot. And it's like, it's awesome to see this young guy excited. And I don't think anything's going to be able to keep him off the football field. Straight up. He's going to be on that football field. He's going to be making plays early. He might even first year, check this out. He might even first year have a bigger impact to Jalen Carter.
Wow.
Because
Well,
Carter's going to be coming on the rotation, right? And I really do believe we're going to be running more of the 3-4 defense. Like, we're going to have, Nolan Smith and, Hassan Reddick coming off those ends every single down, coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Then you still got Dean and Merlo out there in the linebackers. So I think that's what we're going to push towards. I think we got the perfect roster for it. The depth is, someone said earlier in the chat, I think it was like Andrew or something. He said, don't sleep on Milton Williams. Milton Williams is a beast too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be another guy rotating in and trying to, keep these young guys off the field. He's been here before Jordan Davis. He's been here before, Jalen Carter. He's actually made plays when he's had opportunities to make plays. So, we're going to see what happens this year. But I think this defense line is going to be great, and we're going to tear some stuff up.
What do you think? I feel like Nolan Smith is a carbon copy of Hassan Reddick. What do you think about that? He displays to me some of the same attributes Hassan Reddick has, right? So when you talk about him, what better thing to have not one Hassan Reddick, but 2 of them on both sides, both ends. And you said it, like, if we play that 3-4 and you got both of them at outside rushers, man, that's going to be very difficult for opposing offenses to have to stop. They still have not figured out how to stop Hassan Reddick, and it's going to continue to be hard this year because we still have superb talent along that defensive line. And like I probably sound like a broken record now, but when you do have that much talent like as we had last year, and I think that we replaced that talent pretty well in the offseason, thanks Howie. Yes. You have to pick your poison, who you're going to double team, and sometimes somebody's left one single coverage who can beat single coverage. We have that type of defensive line. So you add another Hassan Reddick type rusher to the other side, and it just spells more sleepless nights for the offensive coordinators out here in this league, man. When you are the team, and we're this team, when you're the team that other teams are drafting players to be able to stop on your team, then you're that team. When the Cowboys are going out to get a third wide receiver because they need receivers because our secondary is so good, they need a quality third receiver to go up against our secondary. That lets you know that the people are looking at us. We're the top of the mountain, and they're figuring out how can we take down the king. When they go out and sign another defensive back because they see the wide receiver tandem that the Eagles are putting out there on the field every week, they've got to combat that. If they want to get to the top, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we're the best right now. So I can't wait for this season to come up, man. I think that Howie, we talk about it all the time. Howie's done a superb job of replenishing this roster with the talent that walked out the door over the offseason, because when you get good, people want your players. And then we were not good. We were great last year, except for one half of football. We were great all year last year. So we got, they raided our roster. They took a lot of our good players, but I think how we won the offseason again and replenishing that talent.
Yeah, speaking with the secondary, we got, it says Darius Slay is the best cornerback. Top 10 cornerbacks. Darius Slay number 1, Jair number 2, Gilmore number 3, Lattimore number 4, Diggs number 5, Horn number 6, Dean number 7, Ward number 8. Number 9 is Terrell, and then James Bradbury at number 10. Do you think that is the list for the NFC cornerbacks?
NFC, definitely. Hold up, wait.
Why is Bradbury so low?
Number what? I think Bradbury
10.
kind of low down there, yo.
He was an All-Pro last year.
Yeah, they tripping. I think they're off on that one.
All-Pro, you got a number 10. Really?
Yeah,
that's cap.
And this I hate the cow periods, but I think that Diggs is kind of overrated a little bit to me. I don't know. Call me a hater or whatever, but
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, Bradbury. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with our
have to be
corners
2
on that
or
one.
3.
Yeah,
I'm
with Wayne on this.
I'm a 2 guy. I think Bradbury's 2.
Mm-hmm. Bradbury's much higher than that, dude.
Because I know he got the All-Pro nod and Slay didn't get it, which I thought was stupid. But Slay got the Pro Bowl nod, and I guess Bradbury didn't. I was like, man, that's stupid.
I don't agree with that.
How you do that? How you gonna say he's
Slay is washed. I don't know. Eagles fans say Slay is washed.
What?
I don't know. Let's see what. Let's see how Desai deploys him this year, because there was times where Slay and we kind of blamed him for pointing the finger, but he was actually right, and every time that he pointed out it wasn't his responsibility. And I don't think it was as much as him passing the blame. I think it was him taking a little shot at Gannon, like, yo, that wasn't, that was, I played it the way that it was drawn up for me to play. It wasn't my responsibility. But had, I'm reading between the lines because I don't know what happened, but I'm reading between the lines as he's saying, like, had he put me in a better position, that wouldn't have happened. But on that particular play, that wasn't my responsibility. So let's see how Desai deploys Darius Slay this year. And because a new defensive coordinator, they run different schemes. I know it's supposed to be similar, so that the defense is not going to be learning a brand new defense, total brand new defense. But, he might have certain tweaks and certain philosophies on how he plays situations, passing down situations. So I want to see, before I lay that on him being washed. That's kind of big right there. I mean, he just came off a Pro Bowl season. To say he's washed, I think that's a little bit much. That's a bit much.
Yeah. I do think Slay is a very prideful guy. And you heard him talk about it on his own show, like he heard the noise. He heard the noise. He made it to the Pro Bowl, but he still was getting hated on, And like you said, a lot of those plays, I don't believe, like you said, he was just doing his job in the play, and it just was a blown coverage. And, Gannon wasn't that good. But at the end of the day, Slay's going to come back strong. He got a contract this year. He got his money. He's back with the Eagles. I think he's going to come back strong this year and ball out like he always do, man. Like the back half of the season, maybe give him some more rest, but you got cornerbacks like Greedy Williams that's going to be hungry to get on that football field. Maddox always loved to play. Job, there's like a lot of cornerbacks on this Eagles roster that's going to be screaming to give them a break, And, if the Eagles are as dominant as I think they're going to be this year, he have plenty of time to get some rest.
Yeah, I think so too. And the good thing about it, I think he's going to have a good season, and we have some promising young D-backs on the team here. One Ringo that we how do I find him on YouTube? Oh, I'll drop it. But we have some young cornerbacks that may be in training behind Slay and Bradbury now. So it's going to be important for those guys to see and learn behind, playing behind these great corners that we have. And they should be excellent teachers. I know that we are not dependent on them to be there. They're still in starting positions, so we want them to perform at a high level. But that's just a fringe benefit of having such good veteran cornerbacks there to kind of teach the young guys what it takes to be a pro and be an all-pro in this league here. So I kind of like Greedy and Ringo. Somebody said, oh, that's Wayne. Greedy and Ringo will be valuable backups to Bradbury Slay. I agree with that. I love the construction of this roster, man. And I think that Howie is in his bag, man. Howie's in his bag, yo. He's got this thing, and it only solidifies what we're saying about how the team performs. And last year, the team performed to a level that it did justify what we've been saying about Howie. So we need to see this team kind of replicate what happened last year for Howie to continue to hold that mantle. But he's doing an excellent job, man. I think the past 3 or 4 years, I mean, when you see a guy come out of the closet, because they put him in the closet when Chip was here. They put him in the back room and locked the key and said, watch the mops and stuff. We're going to handle the team. Chip proceeded to run the damn franchise into the ground. Howie comes out of the closet and reconstructs this roster, and in 2 years, we win a Super Bowl. Then it falls apart unexpectedly, but I understand why it fell apart, because the process was kind of accelerated. I think Howie wanted to take a slow go through a slow building process to get us back on top, but we moved too fast. We won the Super Bowl in his second year of constructing the roster, so he had to switch gears. Now he has to not build the roster, but kind of keep the team at the top of the hill. So he signed a couple bad contracts, went after some veterans and stuff like that, and it didn't last. But what does he do? In 5 years from the time he won the Super Bowl, he rips the roster down and rebuilds another Super Bowl team. Yep. 2 Super Bowl teams in 5 years, dude. He is in his bag, and he's done an excellent job with this team. We have a lot of talent. This offense has gotten nothing but better, and he didn't have to even add a lot to make it better. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to add a lot on offense.
And we just had these guys look really good in training camp. Let's take a couple looks at some of these training camp videos we got here. I got something for you guys. Let's check them out. We got Jordan Davis. We got Jalen Carter there. You know, look how big he is. Look how physical he looks. Like, he's going to rip some heads off this year. It's going to be awesome. You got Jacoby Dean still looking all stout there. I love it. You know, McPherson. We don't even talk about McPherson. Is he actually going to be a good player? We keeping him. So hopefully he's going to be able to make some noise this year. You know, these guys are out there balling out, you know, looking good in shorts and shirts, but it's all good. You know, once those pass get on, I think it's going to continue, and it's going to definitely carry over.
Yeah.
Go to work right here. Just going fundamentals, get off the line, get low, come off low.
Watch this, AJ looks great.
Tuck it away.
Look how big he looks.
Just a worker.
He looks amazing out there, man. AJ Brown's
and a beast. An absolute beast.
I was muted the whole time. I'm talking about this whole thing. You got Jalen Hurts out there looking like a stud. I like it, man. And then we got our boy Nicole.
See him, he has that. That's Dean. You just mentioned he came in. He's got his left hand just kind of wrapped around him.
Another highlight. Look at Dean out there taking down Derrick Henry. So we got some beasts coming out this year on the defense, on the offense. It's going to look real good. and I cannot wait to see that defense come out there. So tell me one defensive player you think that no one's really talking about. You hear about the Milt Williams, you hear about Maddox. No one's really talking about Maddox. Blankenship was in the starting rotation. I heard at practice, it's Blankenship and then Edmonds right now in their first rotation. So tell me, who do you think is going to be that guy that comes out, and tears it up that no one's really talking about that? You're like, wow. Just like how we did with what's the boy name last year? The safety.
Blankenship.
No, the other one. See, neither one of us remember his name.
Oh, CJ
Gardner Johnson. When you leave the Eagles, you're irrelevant anymore. So see, CJ Gardner Johnson with his 6 interceptions last year. Who's gonna be that next guy out there?
Oh, who's gonna be that next guy? Are you talking about free agent signing?
Anybody on the team that no one's talking about?
Oh, I guess Nakobe Dean wouldn't count because we're talking about him. Will he count?
You can use him.
We're talking about him.
We talked about, so let's, besides the players we talked about, majority of, you're looking for, I want that diamond in the rough.
All right, the diamond in the rough for this year. Oof. Daggone. Let me see. How about I'll pick the slot receiver that we picked up. I know you guys are rooting for Quez to win his spot back, but the other guy, darn, I got to pull his name up. I can't even if I pull it up. Yeah, Jalari. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
I like him to make a splash because I like I apologize. No, I don't apologize because I know I'm not bowing down to BG. I like BG. I'm on the damn show with BG, but I don't agree with every goddamn thing BG said. BG is a Quez man. I don't hate Quez, but Quez, Quez, what have you done for me lately type thing to me with Quez.
Really?
I need to see Quez step it up. So his biggest thing to me was his unreliability, and this guy coming in has reliable hands. So I think that he has a really good chance of supplanting Quez. And if he does, he's going to be valuable with his reliability in catching the ball. So that I'm going to pick him right now.
Listen, Ojulari looks good right now. Yes, he has more reliable hands than Quez for one season. Okay, for one season. Yes, I guess you could say he had a better season than Quez, right? Last year. But, man, Quez Watkins is like one of the fastest guys in the league. He had a chip on his shoulder. And I think with that chip, that's going to make him better than Ojulari. He's going to keep him off the field this year.
Well,
good job, talk.
Don't get me wrong. I want him to keep him off the field. I want I'm down on Quez. But I'm not. I don't hate players on our team. I want you guys to prove me wrong. I want those guys to prove me wrong because if they do, that means we're doing good, right? If Quez proves me wrong of being an unreliable receiver, that means he's being a reliable receiver, and that does nothing but help my squad. So please, Quez, prove me wrong. I don't think you will, but please prove me wrong. I'm open for that. But all I do know is that we need a more reliable slot receiver that would help this team. And we're talking about helping a team that is already a explosive offense, right? I mean, do we really? I mean, we can always use all the help we can get, but do we really need them? I mean, we still have 3 legitimate go-to receivers in both AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Goddard. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that slot receiver that has reliable hands, it just adds more firepower to the offense. So yeah, I want to see that happen. I want to see it happen. I want to be the best ever.
It's not to say that Ozzy can't go off too. Eagles are running a lot of 4 receiver sets, with Goddard at tight end, one back. You know what I'm saying? Like the Eagles can run some 4 receiver sets, and you have both of them out there, and then both of those guys are fast. I think Quez might be a little faster, but both of those guys are burners down that football field. So either one, when you have both, that's going to stretch the defense out even more. When you got both of them on the field, they both play at a high level. So that's what I'm hoping both of them can do. I do want Quez to, step up just because he's been with us longer. I'm a homer. I want Quez. You know, he's had one good year. Well, he went bad year, good year, bad year. Let's go back and let's just balance it back out with a good year this year. And really, I think he could be one of those 50 catch guys that can have close to 800 yards just from his talents alone. So hopefully he does it.
All right, let me go to some comments out there. We got some people that's doing. All right, so the question was, who you see as the breakout player, or in the sense of like CJ, GJ last year. Now James Wall says he'd like to see Kayvon Wallace be that guy, right?
Right.
We've been hearing about how the Eagles are high on him, and he's supposed to have this potential. We have not seen him shine yet in that light. So I would welcome that. Yeah, what a young safety living up to the potential that we thought he had when we brought him in here. That's not a bad one to know. Rashard says he thinks Madison would be good this year. Refresh my memory. Madison, who is he talking about?
I've seen that. I wasn't sure.
Who's Madison? I'm sorry. I know I'm
referring to you.
Help
us out with that one.
Yeah, help us out with that one.
He says, Quez will be fine. Hell.
No, he hardly got the ball anyways. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, this is what I do like about Quez, because Quez, even though he dropped some or made some boneheaded plays, I think they were I would probably chalk him up to being not mentally strong in those situations. Just a lack of mental fortitude, because you got to concentrate out there. So, all right. So, but he has done good because of his speed. He does garner a certain amount of attention, and that attention that he garners does help out the other receivers on the field. So he's done his job in that aspect. But if you're not reliable in catching the ball, then how effective can your speed take? I mean, how effective can it be if they're not going to be afraid of you catching the ball? So he got to catch the ball. But I'm not saying that his time on the field was totally useless. He had a part to play in some of those instances, and they helped out the other receivers just by his mere speed alone.
Yeah. BJ King said, shout out to the Facebook people. You guys are rocking tonight, man. I knew it. You guys, Dante definitely pulls those Facebook casts out there. He's like a GOAT over there on Facebook. We're about to make him a GOAT on YouTube as well. So, BJ King says, what's your thoughts on D-Hop to the Eagles? I think we talked about this last week, was it? But,
yeah, we did.
Go ahead and let him know. You go ahead and let him know first.
I think D-Hop, don't get me wrong, I would love D-Hop in here. First of all, I'm hearing a lot of reports that D-Hop wants to be paid. So that right there makes D-Hop probably not going to be on the Eagles' radar. If that is true, if that's in fact true that he wants to be paid, I don't even know if Howie can pull that off. I know he's the salary cap king, but when players, specifically want to get paid, Howie's his wheelhouse is getting players to take that 1-year deal and play themselves into a payday, right? D-Hop already has a reputation throughout his career as being a top receiver. So I don't know, unless the market cools on him so much so that nobody's willing to give him that payday, then Howie might be able to swoop in and get him to take one of those 1-year prove-it deals. But the way it stands, if he stands strong on trying to get that big payday from someone, it's holding them up, because there are other teams that are actively trying to get him and wanted to trade for him before he got released. Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills, two of the teams I've been hearing. And the fact that he wanted that payday was the thing that stalled the whole deal. Mm-hmm. And now he's been released, and I'm reading that continues to keep teams kind of at bay from signing him because he wants that big payday. Now, if anything happens, if something, if the market, because this is where Howie, he swoops in and make these deals.
The
so
king of cap, baby. Go get your king of cap shirts.
When the market cools and he finds out like nobody's giving him that 20 million or 19, 18 million he's looking for a year, that's when Howie will come in like, yo, man, why don't you take this right here? We'll give you a little something. Come on in, play on a 1-year deal. You want a ring? You can get a ring while you try to earn yourself some more money. We know who you are. If Howie can do that, I'm all for bringing Diop in here. Now, my other thing, and I talked about this, can he fit into is he going to be a good fit in the wide receiver room? Because our chemistry on this team is one of the things that really helps this team to be as great as it is. And I know wide receivers are divas, but you've got to kind of check your ego at the door when you come into a wide receiver room that has A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Goddard as the primary receivers. You're going to have to kind of, check your ego at the door and see where you fit in, because you might not be getting the same targets that you got in Houston from Deshaun Watson or in Arizona from Kyler Murray. You're not going to get those same looks. So do you have the temperament to be able to come in here and fit into the wide receiver room? Because we can ill afford to have somebody destroy the chemistry on this team. We don't need a T.O. from 2004. I mean, we don't, 2005, coming in and disrupting the balance and the chemistry on this team. So if he can check his ego, we can bring him in on a team-friendly deal. I'm all for it.
And that's the thing right there. He says this D-Hop signing stunt Devontae Smith's growth. Like it could, I guess. But I don't really think D-Hop's as good as D-Hop is. Like, he hasn't really been healthy that much recently of late. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't been the number one receiver in the league for a minute. And he wants that number one receiver money, and he's not playing like it. He's going to see that market will not pay him that money. So I would say Eagles are probably like the 20th team on the list. In terms of like, unless he wants to just take less money to win a Super Bowl, if he decides that, okay, I'm looking at Super Bowl chances, or I can go to this mid-range team and hope that my impact makes him a Super Bowl team. You know what I'm saying? So that's a 50-50 wash right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that good in his old age in terms. Like, will he stay healthy the full 17 games? Got another game on a season. Will he stay healthy the full time? I don't think that he will. I think his time is almost up. Like, remember what Julio did? You know what I'm saying? When he started getting hurt too much, Julio just kind of washed out. He's been in the league for a while. He still wants to be in the league, I think. And it's not saying that when he's on the field, he's not dangerous, but he's not the same anymore. Injuries do take a toll on your body. A lot of players that people still consider stars out there are really not as good as they used to be due to the fact that, their body's not the same. You can even go over to our counterparters in terms of like Dak Prescott. Everybody wants Dak to be this top 10 quarterback. He's never going to be, a top 5. Well, he is top 10. He's never going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league because those injuries definitely has caught up to him, and he throws the ball to the other team too much. So, you got to watch out, man. Like, it's a new league. It's a new way. We're doing things a little bit different nowadays than it was before. And I like it. I think that we definitely are in a good spot with our football team in terms of the players that we got and development of these players moving forward.
Then do we need a D-Hop? I mean, like, if we don't get him, we still going to be explosive on offense. Like, he would be a luxury. You know what I'm saying? He would be a luxury, but when I'm looking at it, do we need a D-Hop? I mean, he wouldn't make or break our team if he didn't come here. We're still going to be, I think we're still going to be better on offense this year if D-Hop doesn't come, just by the addition of the 2 running backs that we had, Swift and Penny. Just adding them is going to make us a stronger or more explosive offense. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to kick him out the bed if Howie can swing a deal, if Howie can work his wizardry with the salary cap and get him in here. I'm not going to kick him out the bed, but if he doesn't come, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. I mean, you guys let me know. Am I tripping? I might be tripping. Let me know.
I don't even care if he comes. I don't want him. Like you said, like, I don't even want to have the responsibility to have to give him the football. Because if we want to get him for a veteran minimum, it'd be a little bit over that because he is D-Hop. He got a name. But even I don't want to spend no money, no resources on this guy unless it's like a 1 year, I'm taking a chunk for the Super Bowl, discount for the Super Bowl, 1 year deal. I don't even want to do it. And then even then, you still got young guys like Rambo. I want to see what he can do. Now, he lit up the XFL last year. He's coming to this year trying to help out. He's familiar with Jalen Hurts. He's like, let's see what he can do. Because when he played with Jalen Hurts, he was good. So, Jalen Hurts is that guy that's going to bring out a lot of these receivers and, talented skill position players that we got on our football team. And my boy AK, Eagles Uncensored, go subscribe to my guy. He just started back up. welcome back. And yeah, man, go subscribe to him. He says Milton Williams is gonna go crazy. He's my guy to break out. And that's what I'm saying. Like, no one's really talking about Milton that much. No one.
I like Milt. I've always liked Milt
Like,
from
no
the
one's
first
really-
year we drafted him. I like Milt.
No one's really. He's gotten better every single year he's played. Straight up, he doesn't get that much playing time, but he's definitely gotten better. That's one thing I can say for sure. You know, like, he's growing. He's always had studs in front of him. He hasn't played that much, but I think, you know, with Hargraves leaving, you know, then you go get a guy like, you know, Jalen Carter, who we've seen. He's gonna be a monster this year. He's what?
Yeah.
He's talking heavy right now, saying he's going to be playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mel Williams still thinks he doesn't care about Jalen Carter, and it will be nothing but a blessing to have both him and Jalen Carter coming on that second rotation together, and they both want to outdo each other. You know, the competition is going to be heavy. Who can get the most sacks? Who can stop the most run plays? You know what I'm saying? Like, D2 DTs is going to be out there balling out, and that will give us the best 4 DTs in the NFL. As long as Fletch plays like he played last year, I think it would be good. You know, like,
And I think
he can egress.
I think Fletch will, you know, play up to the same level as last year, as long as that rotation is just as deep or has the same depth as it has last year, because that's, like I talked about it earlier, that's what gives these guys the rejuvenation that they need is less snaps. When you don't have to, when Fletcher Cox doesn't have to play 45, 50 snaps a game, he's much fresher at the end of the game. So I think we still have that type of rotation where he doesn't have to play that much. But getting back to Milt Williams, I've always liked Milt Williams, and that's not a bad name to bring up as having an improved year this year. He has been getting better every year, and with this rotation, I think I see him getting more snaps. He's a dog when he's in there, and that's a great name to bring up as one that might have a breakout season. And when I say breakout season, so I don't want people to think Dark Knight tripping. I'm not saying Milt Williams is going to have 15 sacks a year, but you know, if he ups his game to 8, 9 sacks, that's a good season for Milt Williams. So you know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking about some 15 sack type year, but if he gets up to 9 sacks, that's a good year for him. I want to give a shout out to my man Deion Jones. He's a loyal follower of Eagles Talk. He's out there. He says Hopkins not a need unless you're protecting against injury, not enough balls. That's a very good point right there. And like you said, BG, I don't even want the pressure or the responsibility of trying to get him balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because I think that a certain level of coaching of trying to get people touches goes into play calling too, right? And we already have 3 receivers that need to get the ball. I mean, and not because they are necessarily whining on the side saying, get me the ball, but they need to get the ball because they're playmakers. Goddard needs to get the ball. He's a playmaker. So Devontae Smith needs to get the ball. He's a playmaker. A.J. Brown needs to get the ball. He's a playmaker. So I wouldn't want that responsible. And Swift needs to get the ball.
They're saying Swift right now is looking really good in OTAs in terms of catching the football. And that's another dynamic to, you know, Jalen Hurts can, you know, use this offseason, you know, to get into that arsenal. To, you know, I think they're going to be the best, you know, offense in the league. I know they did a top 5 offense in the league. You know what I'm saying? I think they had the Eagles. What did they have? Did I load that one up? Let me double check. Yeah, here we go. You know, top 5 explosive offenses this year. You know, the most dangerous offenses in the league. They say KC's number 1, Eagles number 2, Dolphins number 3, Bengals number 4, and the Chargers number 5. Do you agree with this list? Is it accurate? Give me your thoughts.
I disagree. I think we number 1. I mean, I think that the only reason, let me know, Dion, because Dion will put me a check. Dion, let me know. And Wayne, thank you for following Wayne. Wayne's a follower of Eagles Talk also. But let me know if I'm tripping. But I think the Eagles are just a tad bit more explosive than the Chiefs. I know why they put the Chiefs number 1, and that's only because Patty Mahomes. But if you look at Patty Mahomes' weapons, I don't think add up to Jalen Hurts' weapons, right? So you're giving Patty Mahomes a little bit too much credit, or not credit, in judging how explosive that offense is. I think you're saying that he's there's a bigger gap between him and Jalen Hurts, because that's the only thing that would push him to number one, right? Is him. If you
They're
look
still
at
looking
his
for a
weapons,
number one receiver.
his weapons are nothing compared to, I mean, Jalen Hurts has better weapons than he does.
Yeah. They're still looking for a number one receiver. That's why they're talking about D-Hop. You know, like they're still looking for a number one. Like Juju's gone. You know, he's in the Patriots, on the Patriots right now. He's gone right now. You know, and I think it's hands down Jalen Hurts in terms of the most dangerous offense this year in the NFL. You know, the weapons he have, you know, yes, health plays an issue, but the weapons he's had, man, what are you talking about? It's not close. And I don't even know if I'll even make Patty Mahomes and those guys number two. You know,
I would make him too. Drew brings up a good point there.
Right now, he really only has one superstar, and that's Travis, and that's the tight end spot. Tua has a descendant Waddle, and he has Tyreek Hill. And I think they picked some more players up this offseason. Correct me if I'm wrong, but those two are like two of the best receivers in the game. You know, that's one of the best receiver duels in the game. Like, that's dangerous. They still got what? Greco is his name, the tight end they got over there. And these boys, they got a nice little running game over there. Like, these boys are pretty dangerous on offense. That's why they're number 3, but I would actually make them number 2. Then I put Casey number 3 before Burrows and Herbert. And I think they're missing out. Before even Herbert, I wouldn't even put Herbert there at number 5. I would put Lamar Jackson and those Baltimore Ravens right now. They're looking pretty sick right now. I'll put those guys at number 5. You know, leave Burrows and them at number 4. What about you?
All right, Drew brings up a good point here, though. I kind of did that did kind of slip my mind. Andy Reid is a genius, and I guess once you figure him into the equation, maybe that is another part of why they put them at number 1. But even with that, I still think that we edged them out. I mean, that closes the gap on how much of a lead I think that the Eagles were. I mean, how much better I thought the Eagles offense was compared to the Kansas City Chiefs. But I still think even when you add in the Andy Reid factor, that we just barely nudge them. But that was a good one, because Andy Reid and Mahomes, even with the lesser weapons on the Chiefs than we have on the Eagles, they do make up a lot. They make up a lot for that. I mean,
only because everybody look for those outside weapons and running backs to be the weapons. In reality, he still has his number 1 target, and that's Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a dog, a straight beat. I'm a low-key Chiefs fan just because of Reed and Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love him. That dude's an awesome tight end, and I hope Goddard can, take over the notch at being at least.
Don't you say that? What you doing, man? You gonna get me killed out here? Don't be low-key and hating the opposition. Are you kidding me? The one that beat us in the Super Bowl? Look, for everybody that follows Eagles talk, I apologize right now for he don't know the format. We don't give no love to nobody. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever.
Okay, let's go with
I'm only kidding with you.
I know.
We love Big Red, but Big Red whipped our ass in the Super Bowl. So but
that's the reason why I give him so much respect. That's why, because we haven't beat him. He keeps beating us over and over and over and over. For real. Aren't you tired of it? I thought for sure the Super Bowl was going to be the chance of redemption and the biggest stage of ever. We can go out there, destroy the Chiefs and Andy Reid's ass and be the best team in the league, hands down. No one's doubting us at all. And he beat us again. So,
don't remind us,
Travis, too. Travis is a stud. And plus, he's related. Not only that, he's related to Jason Kelce. And all the Kelces are awesome. So, is that Eagles fan? Don't act like I'm saying they the second best team in the league. Okay, how about that?
Don't get me wrong. I like Andy, man. I like Andy. He's one ex-Eagle. I mean, I agree. He's one ex-Eagle I actually root for, right? But after that Super Bowl, That's it. You know what I mean? It was all good. Like, you know, we could have that love for Andy, especially when we won our Super Bowl before them. You know what I mean? That was cool. But if Andy would have won his Super Bowl before us, we wouldn't have that same love for Andy no more. We would because we kind of low key hate. Like we wish you well, but we don't want you to do better than us.
But why
you don't want to
Andy
see your ex do better when he get with the next guy. When she get with the next guy, you don't want to see that. Now, unless you have Beyonce as your wife, then you'd be like, all right, I'm rooting for her to get a good man. But if you know anything less than Beyonce, you're not rooting for your ex to have a better life than you. So, you know, it's a good thing we won the Super Bowl first.
Andy kind of got screwed, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, you know, he had a rough time going on in his life at the time. And, you know, I think his son had passed away. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had some stuff going on with him. And that year did suck. It was trash. You know, he couldn't get it together. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like the Eagles did him dirty by just letting him go at his rough spot. You know, Andy took us to 5 NFC championships, my guy. You know, if he's having a rough patch, you got to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? You got to rock with Big Red.
Andy had 12. He had like 50 years, though. He had 50 years to win a Super Bowl. It was time for a change. I mean, he went 5, but there was like he had like 80 years. Every time I say he had more years, he had like 20 years in Philly to win a Super Bowl. We had to mix it up. You know what? I think that. How did we get to Beyonce? I was saying your ex, unless if you're dating Beyonce, then you don't care who your ex finds, right? But you're not rooting for your ex to find somebody better than you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you dating Beyonce, then you like, I don't care. Oh yeah, you go get somebody. I'm praying for you, girl. You know what I'm saying? That's how she came in the mix. But anyway,
Andy, I feel like Wayne. I love him when he's not playing us.
Right. Facts. I love him when he's not playing us.
And that's like, okay, 32 teams. Like Andy, it is Andy. Like, we had a lot of great moments with Andy Reid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a lot of spectacular moments with Reid. But he never had, I don't feel like Reid ever had the teams that we have right now. You know, the era of, you know, post Super Bowl, you know, that Super Bowl year on. Like, these teams have been great. Like, this team this year could be the greatest Eagles team. We said this last year.
Oh, is that mine? Am I freezing?
Huh?
Did I freeze?
You was glitching up for a second, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we had the greatest Eagles. You're good.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we good.
Hello, y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all hear me out there, because I'm getting crazy.
You can't hear me.
Oh, it's you?
No.
Oh, all right.
It's you.
It's me? Okay. All right. So yeah. Andy, am I better? Go out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Go out and come back. Oh, I'm good. All right, they hear me. All right. So Andy had the most successful era of Eagles football, you know, up until we won the Super Bowl, right? I mean, 5 NFC championship appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, we were contenders almost damn near every year when he was here, right? So I give him credit for that, but I think that our firing him not only helped us, but it helped him. Nice. I think it helped him rededicate himself, or, you know what I mean? It was what he needed. Like, he needed a change of scenery at that time. He needed to get rejuvenated, right? And that gave him that fire to do that. And we kind of needed a break or a change. Although I loved Andy, we kind of needed that. And we went through, and look, I don't think Howie is who he is if we still had Andy Reid, right? And so things happen for a reason. Like, Howie doesn't become Howie if we don't bring in dickhead Chip. You know what I mean? Howie's not Howie. So we kind of needed that separation, and it worked out for both of us. We got a Super Bowl. They got 2 Super Bowls now. Andy has 2 Super Bowls, and we're going to get our second one this year, you know, in our unfinished business season that's coming up. So I think it had to happen. I don't hate Andy, but now Andy is our chief rivalry now, because we're like 1 and he's 2 in the league now. So I still love him, but a little different now. It's a little different after you beat me in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that hurt even more. It was in the Super Bowl, man. Like, God dang it. He keeps doing this to us, man. Like, no matter what, we have the best team in football. And we just lost to the Super Bowl, man. Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? But yeah, like you said, man, and Andy it really humbled him because he went to a point where, he gave up the play calling, and like that was the smartest move from, because people don't realize when you're the offensive genius that you are, the offense is your offense, right? You gave the offensive coordinator your playbook, and you tweak it to what you need to tweak it to. But to be more your style too, bring your own little twist to it. But this is my playbook, and everybody knew it was Andy Reid's playbook. You know what I'm saying? Just like kind of with Nick right now, everybody's like Shane, but that was Nick's playbook still. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's why is Johnson going to be able to handle being an OC? That is still Nick's playbook. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. Johnson's going to bring his own twist to help out, but at the end of the day, you're still running the same Nick Sirianni playbook. So Andy was smart to bring Bieniemy, you know what I'm saying? And he had a couple other coordinators that did good with him. And I think that's what really put him over the top. That's what happened with us when we were in the playoffs. It was like those crunch situations, and Andy would call up the wrongs, and it wouldn't be right, and we lose the game. So it's like 0-3. He said we're 0-3 versus Andy Reid. I know, man. I hate it.
And very possibly will be 0-4 this year. I'm
just
taking a poke. Very possibly. Very possibly.
About 0-4 to Reid this year. Knock on wood. What is going on?
I'm just saying. Look,
not even
we did our game. We did our annual game by game prediction. We do it every year when they drop the schedule. I mean, when they drop the schedule, when they drop the schedule, we do a game by game prediction. We know it's super ultra early in the process because we haven't even gone to training camp. Our roster is not set in stone yet, but on our show, it's just become an annual tradition. So in doing that, we did that, and there's a 4-game stretch that is really, really tough, really tough. It's actually 5, but we just broke it down to 4, and it's a game. It's at home. I think it's at home. No, I think it's on the road against Dallas. Then it's a bye. Then it's on the road against the Chiefs. Then it's at home against the Bills, and then at home against the 49ers. That's probably the toughest stretch of football we're going to have next year coming up. And that game against the Chiefs, that possibly can be a loss. They're going to be coming off a bye also. So we'll both be coming off a bye, and then we'll face each other. I think it's a primetime game. Might be a Monday night game. I'm not sure. But we come off, and we face each other in a primetime game where Andy Reid record off a bye is like insane, and we have to play them at their spot. And Nick, I don't know what his record is coming off the bye, but he's only been here 3 years. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So that may be a loss. I'm just saying that may be a loss. What do you guys tell me?
The games you don't talk about before the preseason, man. Like, of course it may be a bye because he beat us 3 times in a row, goddamn. Of course, but we got to build all the mojo we can get and put it in the same bucket and try to get it out to the field.
I picked us to win that game. I'm just telling you. I picked us to win that game. Just for the record, I picked this. All right, 2 out of 5 games, November, December. Yeah, we play the Cowboys at the beginning of that stretch, and we play the Cowboys at the end. So it's the Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, then Cowboys. Then that's probably the toughest 5-game stretch that we play next year. That's 5-game stretch right there. It's what really changes our schedule from last year to this year. We hadn't faced anything like that last year when we were going 14-3. So that's going to show where we're really at. It's going to be what proves our greatness or not, how we come through in that 5-game stretch. We're going to find some things out.
I think the whole schedule easy.
I'm not even going to tell you. My co-host, one of them picked us to go 16-1. The other
Right?
one picked us to go 15-2.
We went 14-3, and I said we were gonna go 14-3
But
last
we
year.
didn't
I said it
face
before the
the
season started.
Cowboys,
We go-
the Chiefs,
we're gonna play
the Bills, the
14-3.
49ers, and then the Cowboys again. We didn't do
Those
that.
guys aren't our team, though. Like, our team got better than last year, and there were easy games last year against some good teams. At the
All
end
right,
of the
give me
season,
you guys
we
in the
played a lot of
you
people. They
guys
were
in the
top
chat
in
room
league,
right
and we
now.
played them, and we beat them, and we destroyed them, and we made them feel bad.
You guys in the chat room right now. Give me your
We can go
season
17-0
record.
this year.
Give me your record for
It's
next
always-
year.
It's always 17-0 to prove it otherwise. We can go 17-0 this year. That's how good we are.
In actuality, nobody expected us to go 14-3 last year. And
I
for
did.
real, for
I
real,
called it before the season. I said 14-3 is what the Eagles are going to do this year. And I couldn't even give you the 3 losses because I didn't really think we should lose. And actually, we shouldn't have lost those 3 games. If Jalen started, we don't lose the 2 that Garden played. And then if Quez,
and that's 16-1 right there.
you
If
know,
we don't
that's
use those
16-1. And then you got the whole Quez Watkins could have helped us win that Giants game. Or, there's a lot of things that could have happened in that Giants game that got better. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, we could have been 17-0 last year.
All right, come on, man. All right, we got to calm BG down. I was saying that tongue in cheek.
I called it last year. I'm calling it this year.
I thought my co-host was being a little overzealous with this tougher schedule we have this year. And this guy's coming out and telling me we're going 17-2.
First round bye.
15-2.
15-2.
All right, Philly D says we can go 12-5 and be better. Wayne says 13-4.
No, we could.
I got it. I had it said 13-4. I got it said 13-4. BG says 11-6. 11-6.
11-6.
Ed says 12-5 is our absolute best. 11-6 is the likeliest.
Tripping. No way in hell we're 2 games less talented this year than we were last year. No way in hell, guys. Come on, Eagles Nation. I think y'all ain't drinking enough green Kool-Aid. You need to get it out.
Lost DG. I'm not here to make a case, but we lost the turnover king.
Or less wins this season when we're 14-3 last. I don't care about the schedule being tougher. Those teams are the same teams from last year. The reason why the schedule is so tough is they're going off of last year's seasons. Those teams aren't as good as they were last year, and we got better. So I don't see a 2-game loss. Come on. You want to say 14-3? And I'll even give the 13-4 guys to say, some stuff happened. We got some injuries or something like that. That's fine. But anything under 13 games is cap. Straight cap.
Oh, my goodness. You hear this?
Straight cap.
Wait a
we
minute.
Are going to be like
who's better than Hargrave? We lost Hargrave. Who's better?
I'm talking about dominating football team this year. We're going to destroy Cats this year. You thought last year was bad. This year's going to be even worse. I'm telling you. Jalen will be MVP, and he will be Super Bowl MVP. We will be the number 1 seed. We will go back-to-back, first time since the 90s. The NFC East has had back-to-back divisional champion. Those things will happen.
Oh, mark it down. Look.
Mark it down.
17-0. Miss BIRDGANG put it out there. 17-0 until
always
otherwise.
And my people know it's always 17-0 to prove it otherwise. And then if we lose, 16-1, 15, it goes
Ed
down.
is out there.
But
Ed
I'm saying start of every season, 17-0 to prove it otherwise.
Ed says our schedule is against us. Long trips to Seattle, long trip to LA. Man, don't mess up
both of those teams are not on our level.
With some good facts. Don't Ed, don't do it. Don't mess up BG's prediction with facts. I know that. You know
what
that.
What are you talking about? Seattle roster versus our roster? Really? Are we talking about that?
BJ, don't.
Are we talking about that for
schedule,
real?
I'm being real.
You think Seattle's even in our range or in our league? Wait, hold on. Let me
BJ, don't be messing up BG's prediction with no facts.
We're gonna bring this out. For one, the Eagles are number 1 in the power rankings. Okay, number 1.
Philly D said, "Let's just say 20-0."
20-0, exactly, Philly D. 20-0. Thank you. Dolphins, move aside. It's coming to PA this year. undefeated
This guy
team.
is going to destroy Seattle. That's
Telling
a
you.
revenge game for him.
Oh,
We
I
got a
thought I
lot
had
of
it in
we
here.
got a lot of games, man, that are you know
How many
that
games last year? Let's be honest.
What's
Let's
ours?
be honest.
Let me ask
How
you
many
guys
games
this.
last year did you think were hard? Like, were the Eagles, oh my God, could have lost or lost? I guess you got to count the 3.
Not
But
really any
besides the 3
last year.
losses,
I mean,
how many of the other games did you think were hard on the 14 wins?
I don't think there were any hard games, but you know that came with each win that we strung together, right? Because we didn't come in well, except for you. You said you had us at 14-3, but most of us sensible Eagle fans. Not saying that you're not. I'm only joking.
It's not
But most
sensible.
of us,
I am a realist. Everybody else,
most of us fans didn't come in with that level of optimism on last year, right? But with each win that we strung together and we saw this team what they did. By like the 5th game, I was like, okay, like yeah, I don't see. There was no tough games after that. After I saw this team for 5 weeks, and the level of domination that we had over other teams. I mean, you know, we were talking after 5 games about how scary our team would be once they put a full game together. Because we wasn't even playing full games at that time. We were killing people in the first half. So we were putting points up so fast and getting ahead so quick and so dominant that the second half we barely scored and then still was a dominant game. So by the time we got to the 5th game, I was like, all right, yeah, there's no team out there that's on this level here. But we're talking about this year going in and hopefully being as dominant, because we lost some key players on defense and we got some question marks about. I think that we have replenished that talent, but it remains to be seen. One of the things that really elevated us last year is that everyone we signed played up to their potential. Everybody that we signed played up to the level that we thought we were getting when we signed them, and that's not always the case. Everybody, CJ, GJ played up to his level. Bradbury played up to his level. Nagama and even Joseph played up to their level. And we weren't expecting them to be the old players that they were, but they still played up to what we expected them to be. Everybody played up to that. Even if the Kazir White, he played up to his potential.
Yeah, down spot, but I think he played good in playoffs.
Yeah, so that was that case last year. We don't know what these guys who are taking the places of some of these people who left, what they're going to play up to, and our schedule is more difficult. I'm rooting for us to be 17-0. Don't get it.
The reason why
I'm rooting for us to be 17-0. I just don't know if it's going to be possible.
Think about this though. 4 of the games on our schedule are against 2 of the reasons why they say it's a hard schedule. Dallas, we played them twice. Giants, we played them twice. They were both playoff teams. Okay, that's why it ranked our team having the hardest schedule for the most part. You know, we got to go beat them. Those are divisional games. They're good teams. They both got better this year. I believe it. They definitely both got better. You know, and I like the fact that a Eagles fan that's good that decided went to Kirby and talked about his defense. Hey, how did you get these guys to do what you did to win those championships? That's all you asked them. How'd you do it? So now you got Gannon. Gannon, all the good stuff Gannon did do last year, you got on film. You know, that you can look at. But okay, I can use all this stuff right here. You go to Kirby. Hey, I got 4 or 5 of your Georgia championship Bulldogs over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I give them and put them in the best possible situation possible to be elite right off the jump? You know? And then we got the rest of our ballers that we already had on our team. So, man, this team's about to destroy the league. Like, I really think we're going to have the number 1 defense and number 1 offense. I know everybody's like, you're going overboard, BG. Stop it already. We got to see these guys. But that's the difference between me and everybody else. I don't need to wait. I didn't need to wait on Jalen Hurts. I told you guys the first year that Jalen Hurts is going to be our starting quarterback. He's going to be awesome. And you guys are going to bow down to him, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, he's that dude. He's that guy. You know, I watched him play college ball, like, live and shit. Like, this guy's the man. And no one wanted to believe me the first year. Second year, what Jalen do? Get a $255 million contract, runner-up, and an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Take the Eagles to the Super Bowl, have one of the best Super Bowl performances ever. If we win the game, he is definitely Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? Because I see the team. It's like we've been watching the Eagles for a long time. You just got to keep the facts. The team is just dominating. Where are the holes? You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to look safety, okay, we got Edmonds. You know what I'm saying? We got Brown in the draft, who they're saying looking good out there, and we still got Blankenship, who was an heritage guy, that came out of nowhere to play some good football because you have the best secondary in the league and one of the best defensive line, if not the best defensive line in football. So that helps the safety out. Linebacker, Nakobe Dean has been waiting in place since last year. You heard him come out there and say it. He want to get on that football field. He want to show y'all why he should have been drafted in the first round still. A whole year's waited, and now he's that much more hungry. I think he's going to be, I'm telling you, he might be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year this year. I'm telling you, that's how Nakobe's going to dissect this year. With those big old dogs he got up front, I think that's going to give him lots of chances to make big plays. Plus, he's a good pass rusher, so the sack number is going to go up. Plus, he can do some coverage things. He might get a couple picks this year. He's going to come out there and be the leader on defense because he definitely got the green dot this year. And I think, man, sky's the limit for the Eagles. I think we might break the 80 sack rule, because you got the format to get to 70s. So, you just got to be a little bit that much better than Gannon. And, they said that he blitzed like 15% more than what Gannon blitzed when he was here. So, that means you're getting after the quarterback.
All right, let me see if the people out there agree with you. All right. I can't pronounce your name. I'm going to say Z. Z says he can't say 17 in a row. That's kind of hard. Wayne is saying we got Patricia as a wild card on defense as well. I forgot we do have that. Patricia is in the room. And Clinton is saying anyone calling for 17-0, quite frankly, sounds like every Cowgirl fan ever. Oh, so he's saying like, yo, don't call
whoa.
You sound like a Cowgirl.
Listen, guys, I told you. It's always 17-0 until proven otherwise. That's how I start every year. And that's how every NFL fan for their team starts the season off 17-0 until proven otherwise. Yeah, we might think logically and say, okay, 14-3, 11-5, 12-2, whatever. But it should always be you go into every single game hoping your team wins that game. And if, last year the Eagles went 10 games before losing. Who's to say that they can't go 17-0? You see the losses. You can't tell me that Gardner Minshew didn't give up that Cowboys game. You can't tell me that. Facts. You can't tell me that we had multiple opportunities in that Washington game. It was just a fluky type night in Washington and in Philadelphia that night. I was there. You can't tell me that.
You didn't see. That's the game you came and you got drunk.
The first loss of the season, I was there watching live. Podcasting from the parking lot.
That's when you was drunk?
Yeah.
You ain't see that game. Stop lying.
I did. I missed the end of the second.
That boy ain't see that game.
The beginning of the third,
live.
The end of the second, the beginning of the third, I might have missed from a 7-hour tailgate. I might have missed that. End of the second, beginning of the third, but I was up for that fourth quarter, and we still could have won that game. Straight up. And shout out to Stu, baby. 15-2 period. That bait me and lose. I love it, Stu, baby. Thank you for
Stu said 15-2 period. All right.
15-2. I respect it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we are definitely better, and I do give you, the benefit of doubt thinking, like, there is a possibility we lose 2 games. But even at a 15-2, if you're thinking that type of aspirations for a football team, like I say, 17-0 to prove it otherwise. 15-2 is great, though. But shout out to you, my guy. Salute.
So Stu says 15-2. Drew says we went toe-to-toe with the NFL darlings. We had a chance to go up big and win. We definitely did have a chance to go up big.
We lost that football game.
This is not a debate that any Eagles fan wants to have. We don't want to debate our team being the suck or whatever. We hope that your prediction is right. We're just saying that this season this schedule is a little bit more difficult than last year, and we have a certain amount of questions going into this that we didn't have last year.
But last year wasn't
we're
difficult.
not fielding the same team on defense that we are. Now, you could say that this team is better on defense, but we got some players in position that we have never seen even play of the snap of professional football on the NFL level. And we're talking about they're replacing some very good players. I mean, we think that we got the best player in the draft in Jalen Carter.
I want you guys.
Let me
that's a
finish.
big argument I've had.
We have arguably the best defensive player in the draft in Jalen Carter. He's replacing Javon Hargrave, an all-pro who is he replacing?
No, he's not. Jordan Davis is replacing Hargrave, a guy that's been on the roster that was on that ride last year. Jordan Davis.
I'm talking about Jalen. I mean, Hargrave is replacing him.
No,
I mean,
not
Hargrave.
Davis
is replacing Hargrave.
I know everybody wants Jalen Carter to be. They talk about Jalen Carter replacing Hargrave, but they're missing Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is about to dominate this year. You know, he's not about to let Carter come take his spot because it's his to lose. He's not about to do that.
All right, I stand corrected then. So if we're going to do the depth chart, we're saying Jordan Davis is going to replace Hargrave. And even with that, he's taking snaps on that, but we've seen him at the end of the year have his snaps reduced. And now we're going to hope that he's going to play up to the level of an all-pro who just earned over $20 million a year because of his play last year.
Hey.
So that's a question right there. That's a question mark. That's not anything etched in stone, right?
The question is answered with this question. How many, and I'm even including the playoffs, because remember we upped that number in the playoffs. How many double-digit sack guys do we have?
4.
No.
How many?
It went up in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs. I thought you said in the regular season.
It went up to play. We had 5 double-digit sack guys last year. 5. So you took one away. You tell me that one is going to get replaced by Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter in terms of production numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! And are you tripping? You're worried? Really? We still got the other 4 players on our roster, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Everybody keeps getting hyped up about this loss of Hargrave. We still got 4 other guys that had double-digit sacks, and Fletch, if he got off his lazy behind at the end of the season, probably could have got him a couple more sacks too. He was trying to rest up for the playoffs. Come on. Let's talk about real football. These guys are going to be way better than last year's guys. And that's 5 double-digit sacks if you add the playoffs. And I'm telling you, we can do it again this year. We can do it again this year. Who's to say that Davis and Jalen Carter don't ball out this year and get 6 sacks? See, that's 12 to Hargrave's 11. You know what I'm saying? So you got more production out of 2 different players than you would have gotten out of one player. Both of these guys are bigger, faster, stronger, younger than Hargrave. Both of them. So I don't even see how anybody can even think about it. Like Nolan Smith, really? Is he better than what we had? We're going to play a different defense, man. It's not going to be the same defense. So it's a whole brand new team. But the players that he got on that defense, from what I've seen, is going to fit in perfectly fine. And he's going to the right sources to go figure out how to play these guys. You don't tell me both of these guys, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, were drafted first round. Period. End of story. Both of them are legit on one of the best college football teams ever. And that's just the 2. I'm not even talking about Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, what they got to do. They're improving years. I'm not even going to talk about them yet. But both of these cats are first rounders this year.
Well, you're not going to get
what do you want?
Argument. Nobody, like I said, we don't want to debate this. I don't want to get into a debate on saying, because you get in the debate, right? And you low-key start rooting against your own team. So I don't want to be in a full-fledged debate about whether Davis is going to fulfill or replace the production of Hargrave. I'm hoping that he does, and if not him, somebody. I'm hoping somebody replaces that production, right? We're just thinking the likelihood of it happening not being that great. But I don't want to get into a full-fledged debate where I'm sitting here like, see that? I hope he don't see. I told you, Jordan Davis, because that doesn't do my team any good. It means my team is not performing as well as I would want them to. So we're not. I hope that you're right.
Guys,
I pray that you are right. I just don't see it as confidently as you see it right now. I just have to see a little bit. I need to see a little something before I can say
I'm
that.
older cat for real. And it's like
before
it's
I can say that.
I am seriously like, I look at this team and I just look at the talent, and then I go to every single roster in the NFL. I try to match one. Like, who's gonna be the team? Like, everybody keeps saying the best team in the NFC. We are the best team in football, period. Like, hands down. And I really think there's a margin.
Now, I'm not going to argue that.
There's a margin there. You know, and even all these younger guys, like this guy said, shout out to Stu Vision again with the $5 super chat. He says Carter and Smith would combine to give us what Hargrave did, plus better play against the run. Straight up. You know, and that's Carter what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like these guys are projected to be better football players than Hargrave when he was coming out. Like, people get lost. Hargrave was. I heard people in the first couple of games last year talking about Hargrave. I'm like, I don't know. Hargrave's gonna lose his spot. I don't know. Hargrave might not be with us no more. You know, Hargrave came up because he started seeing other people come up. He started seeing other people step up, and he made his game step up. You know, other people kept getting double teamed, so he kept getting one-on-one. So that made his game step up. You know, I need to take advantage of this opportunity if I want to get paid this year. I need to go out there and make some damn plays. You know, the rest of the season, and he did. You know, I give him kudos that he got him an $80 million contract. But, like, that's the reason why Michael Parsons is so mad right now. He's like, you traded $80 million for, like, a max $20 million. I think Carter signed for 22. You know, $80 million for 22. That's cake. Carter's projected higher, way higher than Hargrave ever were projected in college. Straight up. You know, he's, like, one of the highest projected players ever. They say he was the best college football player last year. Period. And he looked dominating throughout his highlights and his gameplay. You know, they're not giving him the same excuse they gave Jordan Davis when Jordan Davis came talking about he's too heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we got to ease him into the system like Jordan Davis. They said this guy is the best college football player. Period.
Whoa. Who's this guy? South Texas. He sounds like a Cal Terps fan. Okay, all right. I'm about to say, sounds like a Cal Terps fan. All right. He's saying we're going to be worse. We're going 9-8. Then that's just asinine. We're not doing that. And what else is not happening is the Dallas Cal Turds are not going to be 13-4. Not going to be. Chris Canty on ESPN said that he doesn't even predict the Cowboys making the playoffs.
That's a fact.
And he's an ex-Cowboy. He knows. Yeah. He said that the fact that McCarthy is going to call the offensive plays this year is going to doom the Cal Turds this year. It's going to doom them. You took an offensive coordinator and fired them who had you guys as one of the top scoring offenses in the league. It wasn't his fault. It was freaking Dak's fault. You can't turn the ball over as much as Dak was turning it over. I wanted to call him the Baker's man because he was making up them turnovers, like he was serving turnovers like the apple turnovers, cherry turnovers. He was turning the ball over too much.
Hey,
and you're going to take him.
I got to give Stu some love here. Do I have it? Here we go. This is for you, Stu.
Stu, you crazy. You delusional.
I got to give that to you, Stu, man, with another $5 super chat. South Texas, your team ain't been past the divisional round in your entire life. Go sit in the corner. Exactly. Tell him, Stu. Tell him. Go sit in the corner because you are a Cal Turd fan, and you guys are not as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. You're not even in the same breath right now. You guys got better this offseason, but you're not going to be good enough. And the fact that the whole NFC East had 3 teams last year go to the playoffs, the chances of it happening again for a second year are very slim to none. I'm telling you, the Eagles are definitely repeating champions.
We're going to repeat When's the last time a person repeated? I mean, a team repeated as an NFC champ, NFC East
It was a
champ.
while, man.
Where it's going to be us
like
this
22
year.
years or something like that.
Okay, well, we're going to repeat, and because like I talked about very very early in the show, and this is why I don't want to argue against your 15-2 record. Is a culture being developed, a culture of greatness being developed in this locker room here in Philadelphia. The Eagles are developing a culture of greatness. I don't want to, wipe our mojo out, but the last team or franchise we've seen do that, well, I think Kansas City's in the midst of doing something like that now. But before them, the Patriots and such, like 2 Super Bowl appearances in the last 5 years. We get that, if the unfinished business tour of this team finishes the way I think it will next year, that could be 3 Super Bowl appearances in like 6 years, 7 years, and
South Texas coming in
and 2 championships.
Look at South Texas coming in. I'm an OG. You go, I seen 3 Super Bowls. I've been at 3 parades in Dallas. All right, South Texas.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's a real
all
fan.
right.
He's a Cowboys fan, but he's one of my loyal subscribers, man. Like, salute to you, man, my guy. He comes in with his trolling a little bit, but what I'm saying, he knows who's the better.
He's never seen his team lose a Super Bowl, and and my kids never have seen your team in a Super Bowl. You've never seen your team lose one. My kids have never seen your team in one. Never.
We did it from 04 to 01 to 04. Hell yes, Vision.
Yeah.
2004, 2005 was the last time. And what we in 23? Woo.
We're 1-3 in Super Bowls.
18
Yeah,
years
you're
ago.
right. All right, South
we're
Texas
1-3 in Super Bowl. Yeah, that's right. But guess what? We're about to be 2-3. And if you want to count, I don't ever not count the championships. Like, people be smoking.
Yeah,
like,
I can't.
Realize when we win a Super Bowl this year, it's gonna be 5, and that's gonna equal 5 Cowgirls championships and 5 Eagles championships. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all after this year. Period. It's gonna be a wrap. I still gotta give you a little whatever because you got 5. But after this year, we will have 5 championships. And don't say, "Oh, the first 3 came in your freaking pre-Super Bowl era."
They're
Because
championships.
I gotta go back 30 years for you, my guy. If I gotta go back 30 plus years for you, my guy, you're going back 60.
Shout out to Stu Vision, $2 super chat. That's what's up. You
love you.
He says, South Texas, you never seen your team winning 4K. How about that? You never seen your team winning 4K.
And I got an 8K TV now. So, okay, back in the day, my guy. Yeah, so yeah, I love it. I love it. Salute to you, South Texas. You are legit for real. We love you.
Yeah, we thank you, man. We thank all you guys that's in the chat room. Thank my Facebook followers, the loyal followers, man, coming in.
Facebook guys come strong. That's why I'm like, Dante, you gotta put it on Facebook too, my guy. Like, if we bringing this show hot, we gotta bring it to every Eagle fan and let them.
And this is something that's going to have weekly. That's going to have weekly. We're not leaving our regular platforms. We're just 2 Batmans that's teaming up. We're coming together and teaming up once a week. We still got our individual shows. Please show love to BG and show love to me, the Dark Knight on Eagles Talk. Bring your alcoholic beverage with you because that's what we do on Eagles Talk.
We can leave you over here. For real. We get down. We let you guys know the truth, right? No matter what. I promise you, every show that you watch, you will learn that much more about the Eagles. I promise.
Yes, indeed.
Like, neither one of us are very off in terms of how we see our football team. And that's very rare to get in this day and age. In terms of, like, usually you got 2 co-hosts, one's way off, one's kind of on point. Like, we are pretty much always on point. For real. Like, we know our team. We're older. We understand the game of football, and we understand the roster that we got at the end of the day. Now, not saying we're both going to agree every time because it's not our business either, because I am a super ultra fan. I'm a super ultra fan. And I don't even look at any other team for real that much because I know my team is that good And I'm not saying previously. I'm talking about right now. Our team is that good that we're going to dominate no matter what. No matter what.
Yes, indeed. Stu.
You coming back again with another $5 super chat, my guy?
Yo, my man.
Hey,
Stu.
Stu, if you got Twitter, hit me up on Twitter, BIRDGANG31 BIRDGANG31 P. Hit me up on Twitter, and I'm gonna send you one of them Howie Roseman. You know, Howie Roseman King of Captures that we came out with print champs that brought you the Herd season hats out there, man. So hit me up, Stu, on Twitter. I'm definitely gonna get you one out there.
And my man Ed Clinton, I just lifted my football sabbatical and was happy to see Dante was live. Yeah, we back out here, man. I love the NFL in the sense that they've made their product relative all year round, even in the off season. So we have plenty of content to talk about all year. I mean, we look forward to the draft. We look forward to free agency. We look forward to OTA starting. We look forward to, there's a lot of big moments that happen in the NFL off season that keeps our football teams relative, and specifically our Philadelphia Eagles. So they do a great job, and they give us as Eagle content creators the opportunity to keep our platforms alive and popping throughout the off season. So yeah, you turn on, you come here, you're going to find content, and we're always going to have something to talk about. And we love you guys because you always give us something to talk about. I'm only tongue-in-cheek with you, South Texas. I do hate the cow turds, but I appreciate that you bring the energy and the conversation to our platform, because that gives us something to talk about. Now get your ass out of here. All right? Yeah, get your ass out of here.
And it's just our team is so good right now, man. Like, you know, in the NFL, when your team is as good as the Eagles, we went to the Super Bowl. You have the shortest off-season period. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your team is like the Eagles, we always in the playoffs, my guy. I think we have the most playoff wins since the 2000. You know, I definitely know we're top 5 for sure, but I thought we were number 1. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But, man, for real, like, we do this for a living. Like, these guys are always in the playoffs. We're definitely going to be riding this. And Jalen Hurts just got signed to 5 years. So, think about the progression from year 1 to year 2 as a starting quarterback in the NFL. We're ready to go to year 2 to 3, and I guarantee it will be better. He's only 24 years old. You can only think of declining, unless there's some catastrophic injury, knock on wood. You know, this guy's not even going to start declining until after this contract. So that's 5 more years of inclining, getting better. It's going to get to the point where Jalen won't even need as many weapons to do what he do. You know, the Eagles won't have to pay that much because they're going to make sure they keep paying Jalen to do what he do, man. I'm telling you, he's built different. We built different. Philadelphia, we are built different. Jalen Hurts is that guy, hands down. If you don't respect the game, you need to respect it. That's all I got to say about it, because if he was like the skinny old like quarterback the way he played, even like a Lamar Jackson, like I no hate on Lamar. He's the MVP. Jalen never got MVP yet. Give him his props. You know, no hate on that. I'm just saying, Jalen got a different body structure than all these other quarterbacks too that are running quarterbacks. You heard about the Mike Vick, the Randall Cunningham, the Donovan McNabb, the Lamar Jackson, you know, Josh Allen. You heard about all these guys, but they're not the build that Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is not, you know, these guys are squatting 600 pounds, my guy. This guy is a freak of nature. And he's getting better at passes. So, you know, watch out now, man. Like, I think you guys are underestimating Jalen Hurts' game. And you hear them talking about it right now. They're telling you that Jalen Hurts is that much better. He's going to make that big of a leap this year. And if you were second in the coming for MVP and you made the same leap that you made from year 1 to year 2 of a starter, what do you tell me that leap is? MVP, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, MVP, Super Bowl MVP. What else is there to do or talk about?
Yeah, I probably sound like a broken record. You guys, you know, loyal followers of mine on Eagles Talk, I say this a lot, but Jalen embodies that Mamba mentality, right? And it's not going to stop. Like his ascension is not going to stop from last year to this year. It's not. It's just who he is. It's just how he's built. It's just how he's made up, man. So if you expect for him to be satisfied with the big contract or making it to the Super Bowl or outplaying Patty Mahomes, all except for the win. He's not satisfied. You heard him at his press conference when he signed the contract, man. Money is good, but winning is better. He wants to win. He still has that hunger, man. He's out there shooting, he's out there shooting jump shots 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. But he's still working on his game, and you can see it in the OTAs. This is why the young players and other, even veterans, want to come here and play and catch balls from him, because he embodies that spirit of a great leader, a winner, and his work ethic is unmatched, and it's not going to stop. He's going to be better next year, and he's going to will this team to even greater heights this year. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Hey, South Texas, I like this. Here we go. He says, I have a question though. Since Jalen got paid, would he be more of a pocket passer or still a running back? For one, he's never been a running back. Last year showed he was one of the most prolific passers in the NFL last year. I think he was number 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the least turnovers of any quarterback. Highest percentage rated, number 1 in a deep ball. Come on now. Respect on his name, please. That's all I'm going to say, South Texas. Respect on Jalen's name. You could have said that after the first year. After the second year, you can't talk about none of that. That's dead. That's dead. We have kids on here because I'll be doing a lot more cussing. But that is super dead. So the running back thing is kind of disrespectful. But the pocket passer thing, you heard our people say, I think he could be the best pocket passer in the game. I'm telling you, the league has not seen another Jalen Hurts. And that's why there's so many skeptics. They don't know if they want to go all in on the guy yet. They're still like, oh, wow, so special, but I don't know. You need to do it, especially if you're Eagles fan. I can understand you, South Texas. You're a Cowgirl fan. I can understand you not going all in on my boy Jalen Hurts. But every single Eagles fan better be all aboard on Jalen freaking Hurts. I'm telling you, he's that dude. He is him. He is whatever you want to call it. He is the best quarterback in the NFL, man. I'm telling you, hands down. And I love Patty Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. I love Patty. He won 2 MVPs. It's the signs point to him being number 1. I'm telling you, this year, Jalen is taking over number 1. He's the best quarterback in the NFL.
You heard it right here from BG first. Let me see. Jalen Hurts. And then answer the question. Because, all right, so will he be more of a pocket passer? I don't see them changing the offense changing it that much from last year, because that's what worked for us. That's what made us such an explosive offense, right? It was the Jalen Hurts factor, the fact that he could run that RPO and be a triple threat, like Candy McDaniel just said. He could be a triple threat with his legs and his arms and deciding whether to give the ball to the running back. That is what makes this offense explosive. So why would they go away from it? Nobody has figured out how to stop that yet. I mean, that's the biggest question. How do you stop the Eagles? Like, what do? You want to take the run away from them? They can pass. You want to take the pass away from them? They can run. So, no, I don't see them moving away from that so much just because he signed that big contract. And the part of that is just because of who Jalen is and how he conducts himself in running that offense. He doesn't take those hits like Lamar Jackson and the others do. It's orchestrated plays. He's deciding whether he runs or not. He goes down. He's not like Michael Vick where he doesn't know how to slide. He is very, very aware and competent in saving his body from unnecessary physical hits. So I don't see them doing that. I don't see them getting soft and try to protect, because once you go into that you can't, like what they say, scared money don't win. You can't go in and call it a game and be scared that your quarterback's going to be hurt. You have to trust who he is, and who he is a very smart and intelligent quarterback, young man who is dynamic and knows how to protect himself. So I don't see them shying away from running the same exact offense as they ran last year.
And shout out to Candy, man. It's facts. They call Jalen a running back quarterback when he's actually a fullback, for real. He's a fullback. You're not hitting. You getting licked by Jalen. He not giving Jalen licks very often, man. That guy's strong as ox, man. Stu Vision back again. He says South Texas. Honestly, I just want football players. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's at the end of the day. You keep talking about this quarterback thing. Does it mean you have to throw 4,000 yards? I tell you, with the numbers that Jalen has, almost 4,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty close. Like, as accurate he was, the minimum turnovers that he gave you, and the rushing the football, you gotta say he's a better football player, man. At the end of the day, like, come on.
All right, Ed, we have a question for you, South Tex. Ed says, what's the over-under for the fourth quarter interceptions by Dak in 2023? He's got 14. How many games did he see? 17? All right, I got 14 too. I'll go with the 14. Over-under 14 fourth quarter interceptions by Dak. Dak is a turnover machine, and that's why this is where the difference is. And unless he improves next year, this is why Dallas to me is really no threat. Is because Dak has reached his ceiling. I believe. I don't believe there's that Dak can go be any better than he is now. We've seen him rise and then get the big contract, and then slowly we're seeing his decline. And I don't see another bounce, like, unless he's a stock that I don't know about. I don't see him rebounding and going back on the upward trend. And because of that, that's why this Eagles team is going to be head and shoulders above the Dallas Cowboys. You have a quarterback that just turns the ball over entirely too much. And I know McCarthy is probably going to try to go run heavy next year and get the ball out of Dak's hands. And that's not a bad philosophy to have, but he's going to have to put the ball up eventually. And that's all we wait for. We wait for him to put the ball in the air, because eventually Dak is going to do Dak things. Yeah. And that's the difference. Jalen's still on his ascension. We haven't even seen his ceiling yet. And I think we've seen Dak's ceiling, and he's on the decline. That's the biggest difference.
And even if you want to get into the whole other thing, if like the whole conspiracy world, I know I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I'm going to say like this. The Cowgirls aren't winning the Super Bowl till Jerry Jones and Dak is out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time they're going to win that Super Bowl. So until then, Cowgirls, you can do whatever you want. You can sign whoever you want. I do not believe you guys are winning the Super Bowl. And I'm going to say that out there. I took to the Eagles too. We got rid of Donovan McNabb and we got rid of Andy Reid before we won our Super Bowl. Now, you guys do the math. I like throwing in a little extra on there just let y'all think about that a little bit.
I just congratulated the Washington team fans, and I have to call them team fans because they don't even have the Commander's name anymore. They're fighting to see if they can keep the Commander's name. So I don't even know what the hell their name's going to be next year. They might be back to the Washington football team.
Anyway, I liked that. Okay, whatever.
I just congratulated them because prior to this agreed upon sale of the franchise from Dan Snyder, I said that you guys are cursed. You will never win anything while Dan Snyder was the owner. And they just had that curse lifted. Well, I'm going to say the same thing for the Dallas Cowboys. You guys are not going to win as long as Jerry Jones wants to play fantasy football with your squad. I don't see Jerry ever selling the Dallas Cowboys. So you guys are not going to have. You're not going to get the reprieve that the Washington football team got by having the franchise sold. But until he stops playing fantasy football, meaning stop being the GM, you guys are never going to win. As long as he's the GM, you guys are never going to win.
The question would be, do you
credit
think
goes
he's ever
to
going to
Jim
give up
Jones.
the GM?
Jimmy Johnson back in the 90s. That's where the credit goes. Y'all should have never got rid of Jimmy Johnson. And y'all haven't won since y'all have. Well, y'all did win one, but that was still Jimmy Johnson's team.
Do you think he's going to give it up?
He's not going to give it up. And they're not going to win. That's why they're not going to win.
Like, how old is Jerry? Like 80?
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna have to die. Yeah, you
until
guys.
he dies, no one would ever be GM of the Cowboys. You think that's gonna happen?
No, he's not.
Yeah, not even to his son.
Nope, not even to his son. He's 80 something, and he still won't relinquish control. I don't know. he's probably forgetting stuff when he's in the draft room. He's too old now. I mean, come on, yo.
Well,
I'm sorry, but yo, that's 2 hours. We about to get out of here, yo.
let's get out of here, my guy. It was a great show. Shout out to all you
Yes.
guys for sticking with us. We still got 26 up in here. Hey, shout out to you guys, man. Hit that like on all channels, man. We are definitely gonna keep bringing that Eagles fire to you. You know what I'm saying? Dante Dark Knight Eagles talk, man. Dominates, man. Dominate. We're definitely bringing him. He's gonna be the next GOAT of the YouTube community, man. Like, he's moving over from the Facebook to the YouTube, man. And he is on fire. That's why I had to make sure we linked up and we got this show started, because you know how we do. We just hit 9K. Shout out to all you guys, man. If you have not subscribed to BIRDGANG, make sure you guys go. We're on the road to 10K. Let's go. Let's go get that 10K. Let's go get Dante and the Dark Knights in to 1K, right? Have you guys hit 1K yet?
Not yet.
Let's get them to 1K, especially my people. If you have not subscribed, go subscribe to Eagles Talk on YouTube, man. Go get them to 1K. We definitely need to get them there so they can, they bring the most fire content on YouTube. So it's like, don't wait too long. Don't wait too long. Go out there and help. And if you believe in Howie, like we believe in Howie, go ahead to Print Chaps, the one that brought you the Hurt Season hats that you see all over Philadelphia. We got a new one out here. It's King of Cap Howie. You got a whole new Matrix seam in the back of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty awesome shirt. I got one. The missus got one. Y'all need to go get one. They're flying off the shelves. Go get you your Howie Roseman King of Cap shirt. They are litty like a kitty. And let's go, man. But yeah, man, we've been here 2 hours, man. Every time we do a show, it seems like it's 2 hours. It doesn't seem like we ever end up in that one. By that 1 hour mark, we're just getting hot. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep going with it. So, but salute to you, man. Shout out to your son for his graduation, man. Shout out to that. Another, strong brother out there doing big things, So, I'll let you guys know. We always end the show, fly, Eagles, fly. And it was a definitely Fly Eagles Fly show today. How you going to end the night, Dante?
Yo, you follow us on YouTube. That's at Eagles Talk. Go to YouTube, search at Eagles Talk. We'll come right up there. You'll see me and you see the background. That's how you know it's us. And you can follow us on Facebook. All my Facebook followers up there. We're trying to get up to 1,000. We're like 8,000 on Facebook. So just give us some love. Come by. And thank you guys. Thank you for the congratulations, Ed. I appreciate that. We'll be on this Thursday, 7 o'clock. Eagles Talk. Come check us out. And BG will let you know when we'll be back together on the State of the Eagles. But thank you guys for following us tonight. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. I'm out. Peace.